My name is InsaneRaven. I'm back with another episode of Tales of the Hunt, and surprise, it's the fourth, but actually fifth episode of our prognophobia month. A whole 5 episodes dedicated to the feel of facial hair, which I've pretty much talked about in length and in depth for the rest of the other episodes. And I say it's the surprise fourth but fifth episode because I can't count. No, Microsoft, I don't want to download you right now. Can you not chime in? Thanks, bud. But no, I can't count. And I made a promise that I was going to do a Phobia Month episode every Sunday of the month of October. And there are 5 Sundays in this month. So this is number 4. So yeah, let's see what goes on. We're talking Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. I recently platinumed this one as to go to the end of our very long chain. And surprisingly, this was actually going to be a bit of a setup episode before doing the next game in the series, Shadow of War, because that is the game I wanted to do for a different Phobia month. I'm gonna just say that. I'm not gonna say any more. I'm not gonna say what year it's gonna be because I'm already thinking years down the line, because of course I am. But this was kind of just a game that I went into like, yep, I have to do this. I went through my backlog. I was like, what games have I not platinumed, but probably should at this point. And that's why this hunt starts us way back in 2015. Like, Shadow of Mordor is the quintessential mid-2010s game. Like, early 2010s was very much Far Cry ripoffs to Kingdom Come. And then middle of the Shadow of the 2010s were very much a Batman inspired. So you have a lot of those games that are very heavily Batman inspired. Batman Arkham system combat style, especially if they're from WB. So you kind of get that other flavor thrown into there, including the risk of online trophies that you cannot get anymore. Fun fact, that is right. Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor is an unplatinumable game at this point because it has online trophies which have been disconnected from the servers. Which is part of the reason why I want to get Shadow of War done really, really soon, because I don't know how much longer those servers are going to last. But we started this game back in 2015. I recently revisited it to give it a good platinum shake. Discovered its play style. It's very Arkham style of fighting. But this game, like a lot of the early 2010 games, if you know this, is pretty much my like era of gaming. It's the one where I had the most just enjoyment of playing. And I remember starting this game out and pretty much playing it. This was the first game that I played all the way through the night with. Like, I didn't do really any story progression in this game. I got to the point where you had to like get to all the war chiefs for the first time. It was too hard for my little brain. And I was like, nope, I'm just gonna stop playing this, and pretty much never picked it up again. I think I picked it up again a couple of times to give the trophies a fair shake, but for the most part, I'm like, nope, I'm done with this. Until I was like, you know what, I have to platinum this if I'm going to understand Shadow of War. So here we are. So when we start out this hunt, we're going to start out with the You Will Obey, which is making York yours. It is a story mission. You literally cannot play this game and miss this one beyond the tutorial missions, which is why 93.6% of people have it. Jaws of Death attract Keragors with bait 5 times. I'm also going to say this right now. I probably should have said this earlier, but my tongue does fascinating things with the English language on the best days, which is why deciding to do a podcast was probably the worst decision I could have ever done. But I do want to just go out on a limb and be like, yo, we are gonna try to not ruin all of these pronunciations. Because I know I'm going to ruin a lot of these pronunciations. So I'm going to ask you for some grace, for some patience, and we're just going to get through this. Unleashed, free 5 Caragors from cages. Again, both of these trophies are just super easy and essentially come down to shoot the highlighted thing with your bow and arrow when given the chance. Whether it's baits or whether it's the cages, it's no big deal. Strike True, unlock 2 bow rune slots. You have to do all of the bow runes anyway. So this ends up just being a marker trophy. It lets you know that you're on the right path, which is great. The Free Folk, complete an Outcast rescue mission. These got really tedious towards the end of them. And again, you have to do every single mission in this game. So just don't even worry about it. It's gonna, like, if you're going for the platinum on this game, just know you're gonna have to do so much work, so much repetitive, boring slog of work towards the end. And the Free Folk and Strike True and Legend of the Maker, which is for completing a bow mission and beginning to grow the legend of Oscar. Again, I'm not sure if I said that right. I probably didn't. Are the beginnings of that journey. You're like, oh hey, this is interesting. It's a bow and arrow mission when I've been using mostly swords and a homemade dagger for some reason. From another broken sword. It's fine. These are the beginning steps. Fly UFOs. Make 20 Uruks fly by dropping Mogwai fly nests. I think there was an English word in that. But yeah, similar to the Jaws of Death, that's what it was called, trophy, you're going to have to just shoot off these like beehive wasp looking things onto Uruk's heads. I think you end up doing it like 5 times, because they tend to group up in groups of 3 and 4, vaguely. And you're going to get this trophy. A quick way to getting it is just getting like a mass of Uruks to chase you in one of their fortresses and then drop it there. That could work. Might also piss off some people, but that could work. Legend of Shadow, complete a dagger mission and begin growing the legend of Alcorn. I'm going to say that's Alcorn. And we're going to move on. Because again, it's one of those just kind of like roadmap-y trophies. The Cold Light, unlock 3 sword rune slots, same thing. The Bright Master, discover some of the Wraith's past. This is actually a story mission. A story mission where you get to meet Gollum in this game. Which, apparently, I'm not sure if it's out when it comes out, but there's supposed to be a Gollum game coming out for next-gen consoles, and that is, I guess it's current gen. Current gen, PS5 now. So that current gen. But that's very exciting. So, maybe I'll play that. Maybe not. I don't know. I never really liked Lord of the Rings. But the Nemesis system in this game was just so much fun. I couldn't say no. And it burns, burns, burns like a burning ring of Oryx. Use a detonator ability to burn 50 bloody Oryx. It's a video game thing. Like, you'll end up doing it almost not even thinking about it. Ratbag, the Great and Powerful. Get Ratbag promoted to War Chief. It's a story mission. Legend of Vengeance, complete a sword mission and begin growing the legend of Yofriel. I'm not sure if I said that right at all. Okay. Remember when I said that this game is unplatinumable? Remember when I said that? Yeah, this is why I said that. Because the Repaid in Blood mission requires you to complete a Vendetta mission. Vendetta missions don't exist anymore. As of, I believe it's the same shutdown, the same day shutdown that Mad Max experienced that we talked about I want to say last week. Yeah, last week. I wasn't sure if it was last week or 2 weeks ago because, spoiler alert, I wasn't planning on recording this episode, so some of the names and dates are out of place. Sorry. Yeah. It's just like last weekend with how Mad Max is unplatinumable. Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor is also unplatinumable because of the Repaid in Blood trophy. I hope you guys can get it. This platinum. I think it's worth it. It gets boring, but it's worth it. Iron of Death. Issue a death threat and then successfully kill the targets. This ends up being one of the abilities that you have to unlock for your ranger, and he will issue a death threat. Go ahead and then kill him as quickly as possible. Not because that's a trophy requirement, but because you'll get the trophy that way, and you'll be a-okay. To rule them all, complete the creation of the Rings of Power. Another one of these story missions with the Wraith. Scout of the Moranen. Successfully complete a survivalist challenge. Just go on, pick some stuffs. The Thrill of the Hunt. Successfully complete 4 hunting challenges. There are 10 hunting challenges, and there are 10 survivalist challenges. The survivalist challenges require you to go around and pick up herbs. The Thrill of the hunting challenges require you to kill animals of Mordor. Simple. Totally annoying. Height of Despair. Use the strike from above while at least 60 feet above your target. This was weird because apparently from Scout of Moranen was the last trophy I got in 2015. And 2 years later, I jumped over and got Thrill of the Hunt, which is complete the hunting challenges, and Height of Despair, which is for killing an enemy 60 feet above your target. What you want to do is you want to go up to one of the towers that you activate so you can see everything. Wait for a guy to show up underneath you and just jump off and kill him. You'll get the trophy. But it's weird that it goes from 2015, 2017, 2017 to 2021. Where we have jumped forward all the way up to Paid in Blood, which is unlock 4 dagger rune slots. You just have to pay for them. The skill, and you'll get them. Paths of the Dead. Collect 25 of the artifacts. Just a collectible. Once you go up and pick up the towers, they show up on your map of where they are, which makes it really easy to go get them, actually. Divide and Conquer. Eliminate the bodyguards of 2 war chiefs, then draw them out and kill them. At this point, I came back to the game to fully just hunt it down like the dog that it is. And by doing that, I ended up just going and playing through the story as quickly as possible to unlock as much of the map and as many skills as I've been neglecting in the past, which is why I did that. Which is also how I got the Agrog's Heal, which is for capitalizing on a war chief's fear. The fear mechanics in these games make first off, very interesting, because you have to go and search out this information, either from another captain, or from an intel spot, or just from kind of interacting and learning about Mordor and how it all functions. It's really fascinating. And I think it's one of the things that is, you can see the kind of like residue of the Riddler trophies in this kind of mechanic, but it feels much more, I don't want to say genuine, but better executed. That's how I'm going to say it. Which is interesting. No, but use the fear against a war chief and you'll get the trophy. Black Celebration. Poison a captain at his own feast. You need to unlock the story mission first that gets you the poisoning ability. Then that makes the whole trophy doable. Which is why I waited so long to get it. Crowned with the Living Light. Collect 50% of the Ithorden. They're like these magic little runes that are hidden all around Mordor, which again, light up when you get the towers. But for the most part, these things end up doing nothing. except giving you money that you can spend on skills. So, if you're not platinum hunting, I don't really recommend doing it. Unless there's a high level skill that you really want. Gorthor the Cruel. Destroy the monument gate and topple the statue of Sauron. This is a story mission. Moving on. Power Vacuum. Kill all 5 war chiefs before any Uruk can take their place. I actually got this one, interestingly enough, by doing story missions. Because you have to do all the story missions and kill out the other remaining ones, if you do them fast enough, you can then go to the next story mission where you meet the Hammer, who then kills your war chief, and boom bang, it's all good. Next. Because then the next trophy I got was the Hammer Falls, a trophy you get for completing another story mission, and it's actually the first boss fight in the game. And this is where the game kind of shows its problems, its bigger problems, because of how invested I had gotten with Nemesis and Nemesi and all of that. I didn't really care about the hammer, and I had a feeling that if I was an actual Lord of the Rings fan, I'd be like, oh shit, the hammer, but I didn't have that connection. So when the hammer shows up as this big bad dude with a mace, I'm like, Who are you? And why aren't you Pug the Destroyer? Yeah, my big old nemesis in this game was a dude named Pug. I fucking hate Pug. Moving on. The Rise and Fall. After an Uruk kills you to become captain, help him become war chief, then kill him. Is this Pug? No, it was Nazu. Fuck Nazu as well. Nazu the neck snapper. Fuck Nazu. Perform an execution on a flaming berserker. Now this one actually is a bit difficult. So what I ended up doing is that I got the skill that lets me just spam arrows. It lets me spam arrows that flame and explode. And then I got the skill that... No, hold on, rewind. I got the skill that lets me shoot flaming arrows as a combo move. And then I got the skill that lets you do 2 executions back to back, because the flaming arrow thing counts as an execution. So you do that one. You do it on a berserker who's super close, and then immediately you do your second execution, because if you're not fast enough, he will die from the flames that are consuming him. So you have about a 2-second window of getting it done before he counts as dead from the flames. Super tricky, but not impossible. And it's shown that by the very rare status this trophy has at 7.7%. Totally doable. It's just, it's one of the very few trophies in this game that requires you to set out with the purpose of getting this trophy. You need to get specific skills. You need to be ready for it, essentially. Memories of Urugwan? I'm gonna lock that in, Urugwan, which is for activating all the forge towers. Basically, just getting all of your radio towers done. No big deal. Same thing with no big deal of Bearer of the Shining Lamp, Shadows of the Ancient Past, the Marker's Bow, Ranger of Ithilien. All of these are completion trophies. And all of these require just time, essentially. Whether it is all the Forge Towers, or the Ithilien, or the artifacts and the memories, all of the bow missions, all of the survivalist missions, the challenges, they're just a matter of completionist stuff. Which I don't have a problem with in this case, when it's not asking for absolute crazy. So there's that. A new master. Brand a captain while in combat. That's literally just a matter of... It sounds much more complicated than it is. But it's just a matter of getting the skill of instant brand. As an execution move. Pretty simple. If I'm being honest. Fire of Justice, complete all the sword missions. The White Wizard, that is a story mission I'm not going to spoil, because maybe someone out there actually understands Lord of the Rings. The Spirit of Mordor, start a riot by commanding a war chief to attack another war chief. This one's actually really fun. What you need to do is you need to brand a war chief and then send him on a mission to attack another war chief. It's pretty fun. It's stupid, but pretty fun. And also, in my opinion, is basically what started the idea, I think, in a couple of big wigs' mind of like, hey, what if we just made an entire game where it's just, hey, command your war chiefs and captains to kill each other. Shadow of War? Shadow of War. Master of the Wilds, complete all hunting challenges for my brother, which is kill the great white Grog. Which is, by the way, save the last mission, the last hunting challenge for that, because then you'll get it and it'll be super easy. The Last Shadow, complete all the stealth missions. No power in numbers. Help a captain survive his recruitment power struggle, then kill him. You have to kill his enemies, and then you have to kill everyone involved with him. I failed doing this so many times because it was like, well, what's the deal here? I don't quite understand why this guy keeps dying when I'm not intervening. It's because these guys suck. That's why. Stinking Rebels. Brand 5 bodyguards of a war chief, turning them against him in combat. So what you need to first do is you need to brand all of the captains he has under his control. Then you need to go find any remaining captains and send them on recruitment missions to work for the war chief. And then you need to help them succeed that. Then you need to get up to 5 of them, which is either just like picking up 2 more or picking up like 3 more. And then you need to go and attack the war chief. Again, the brand ability is so useful. It's ridiculous. Lord and Master, brand all 5 war chiefs. I did this by branding captains and then getting them to war chiefs. That's how I did this. Beyond Hope, which is save Lothario's life. Probably shouldn't have said that because someone probably knows who that is, and that's a spoiler, I guess. The Tower Crumbles, kill the tower. Liberator, complete all outcast rescue missions. All of those other 2 are story missions. Liberator is a completionist mission. The Hand is Severed. Mission, not gonna tell you. The White Rider, liberate 30 slaves in 180 seconds while riding a Caragor. This one sucks. And I don't even know how I did it. Like, to this day, I do not know how I did this. I am going to put a link in the description below to PowerPrax's video on how he did it, because I do not know how I did it. And then a Mighty Doom. This trophy is so annoying. I'm just going to tell you how this all went down. Okay? So what you need to do first is you need to get killed by a captain. You need him to be a war chief. You then need to get him all the way up to level 20, because that's as high as he can go. So that right there only gets you to 22. So you need to have him kill you, so you have a grudge. You need to have him be a war chief, which gets you up to 20, which gets you an additional 2. You need him to be up to level 20, which then gives you 23, because war chief gets you 2. You then need to use his weakness against him, and then you need to execute him. Pretty specific things to do. So just trying to get all the work done for that is so frustrating. I thought I was going crazy by the end of it. It's like, but it's all working. It's all right there. Why isn't it working? And so I eventually looked up a guide, learned what I did wrong, and then still had to grind it out. Because, oh my god! At a certain point, the highest these guys come naturally, without them killing you a bunch of times so you can get them to level up, because they gain a level every time they kill you, is like 10, I think the highest was. And at this point, like, it is super late game. So it's just a matter of like, hey, I take a while to kill now. Please kill me faster. But all of that has gotten me the trophy of Master of Mordor, an ultra rare 3.0%, 3% platinum trophy, where the details are one has walked in Mordor. This game is honestly very forgettable. It kind of just falls into the hodgepodge of early to mid 2010 games that have just big open world, bunch of checklist style missions, and just forgettable. And then there's the Nemesis system, which single-handedly saves this game. Period. And that is the only reason why I have no problem saying I love this game. I could talk about Pug and Natu and Neku and all the assholes I fought, just building them up, hating them, and then getting this all done. Like, this game is phenomenal because of the Nemesis system. I do not, as much as I can wait to see what it happens in Shadow of War with the Nemesis system and how it kind of gets tweaked, because that is a very different type of game, as this is a more rebellion, that's more of a setting up an empire type thing, as well as my understanding is. If it wasn't for that system, this game would be completely forgettable. And I think WB did that really well, you know? Essentially, they made the same game 4 times in just as many years between middle of Shadow of Mordor, Mad Max, Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City. And they just did slight tweaks to the formula. So it's like, ooh, this is great. Like, even Mad Max, for as bland as that was, like, the car building mechanics, it's just a phenomenal idea. But I talked about way more of that in last week's episode, which, I mean, if you haven't watched it, I should highly recommend you watching it. And this with the Nemesis system. You know, I am proud of saying that I platinumed this game. I've added it to the wall of pop figurines with Sauron. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna forget this one. I'm gonna forget this one pretty hard. But that's just me. Those are my tips. Those are my tricks. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, if you have made it this far, 27 minutes in to my ramblings, you must care about what I have to say, or, you know, maybe you just like the voice in the background. I am going to say that I filmed this one out of order, so I mentioned in the next episode, the finale of the Prognophobia saga, how it's been a great 4 episodes, it's been this and that. It's because I realized, like, today, and by today I mean yesterday, of this video going out, that, oh, there are 5 weeks there are 5 Sundays in October, not 4. Need another one. So, just a heads up for that. And with all the schoolwork I have, there's just no time to be recorded. I had to take a break just to record this one from schoolwork. But, so thank you guys for listening. If there's another game you would like me to platinum, let me know what it is in the comment section down below. And I will see you in the next episode. Thanks for your ears. Bye-bye.